Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video with us now a little bit deeper into 2020. In today's video, I want to take a look at the top 5 graphics cards for your money heading into the new year. And we're already into the new year, but you guys get the idea. A lot of good stuff, other stuff not so great. I think if you're looking to build a PC on a budget, there's a lot of good options. On the more expensive side of things, I do think the value kind of diminishes a little bit, but we'll take a look at everything. And AMD, as always, killing it from a budget standpoint. However, on the higher end spectrum, you see Nvidia taking over a little bit, but I think for the majority of my viewers, if you are on a budget, a lot of AMD stuff is really good. So, kicking things off, and we're just gonna go from cheapest to most expensive. The Asus ROG Strix Radeon RX 570 4GB GPU is such a great value right now. Specifically, Newegg right now has it for $120. This sale does end very soon. However, you can regularly find a price like this on Newegg or Amazon, and it's really good. This is a fantastic 1080p GPU, and while it's not going to max out absolutely everything and get a consistent 60 frames per second, it will do a damn fine job. And considering, again, you're only paying $120, it is excellent. And AMD is sweetening the pot even more. You get 3 months of Xbox Game Pass for PC, and you either get Borderlands 3 or Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I would really go the Borderlands 3 route with that. But if you're valuing Borderlands 3 at like $30, then you value the Game Pass subscription for like $20. That's essentially an additional $50 value, and if you look at it that way, the GPU itself essentially comes out to $70 if you do factor that in. I know not everybody is gonna be, but hey, if you're building a gaming PC, you probably want to play some games, and Borderlands 3, that's a game with a lot of value, and then Game Pass is fantastic as well, so that adds even more value. Again, when you look at the cheaper side of things, a 570 can work with like a $400 PC build, and that's ridiculous given the performance you're getting for that kind of price point, and the 570 really does wonders. Okay, moving on from that and kind of sticking to that pattern, the Asrock Phantom Gaming X RX 580, which is an 8GB GPU, is down to $160. I've seen it as low as $150, and this one's really good as well. Think about a more beefed up 570 also for 1080p or even 1440p. Given that this is an 8GB GPU, it is going to fare a little bit better at 1440p. Ideally, the most optimal experience is going to be had at 1080p, however, and once again, with this GPU, you're looking at Borderlands 3 or Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and you're getting 3 months of Xbox Game Pass on PC. The value is ridiculous, and a GPU like this can fit in, you know, a $500 build, and given the performance that the 580 can offer you at a $500 budget, $160 for the GPU itself, it is pretty crazy. And again, if you do want to push 1440p with the 8GB, that door is going to be open. Not open completely, as if you do try to push some of the higher end games at 1440p, yeah, it is going to lag behind a little bit, but if you do tweak around with the settings, you can get some pretty good settings and performance at 1440p as well. And the value, once again, is ridiculous at $150 to $160. Getting Borderlands 3, getting 3 months of Game Pass on PC, you are getting a steal with this deal. Alright, next up, also on the AMD line of things, XFX Radeon RX 5700. The 5700 XT from GIGABYTE was also on sale a little while ago. I believe it was down to like $340, which is a ridiculous deal. Unfortunately, that specific deal is now out of stock on Newegg, so that's a little bit of a bummer, but if a deal like that comes up, that is a really great option. And the RX 5700, awesome option for 1440p gaming or even a little bit of 4K. It's an 8GB GPU. And this is really where AMD was a little bit weak at. Even though their lower end options are so good with the 570 and 580, they've always fallen behind Nvidia a little bit when you start hitting that $300 threshold. And right now, the 5700 and the XT are both really good options. The XT is a little bit more expensive, so it's not quite as good. But if you do find a decent deal like that aforementioned GIGABYTE model for $340, I believe it was, it's really good because that is only just a little bit more than the 5700 flat, which is $330 from XFX. Also with this one, much like the 570 and 580, you do get Borderlands 3 and you do get 3 months of Xbox Game Pass on PC, so that deal from a value standpoint is really great, and I would highly recommend it, especially if you are the kind of consumer that does want to stick with AMD for your entire build. And obviously them for a CPU is fantastic right now, and going the GPU route even into that $300 territory, they are good with the 5700 and the 5700 XT. Alright, lastly, the final two GPUs are Nvidia GPUs, and honestly, guys, at the higher end of things, when you're looking at GPUs north of $450, the options they're good, they're not exceptional from a value standpoint. That's just kind of the world we're living in right now. Nvidia doesn't really have a lot of reason to make a lot of great options at that higher price point. I don't know if the consoles are going to change that line of thinking, but right now, the RTX 2070 Super is down to $500, Now, the unfortunate thing about this is, yes, it's a great GPU for 1440p or even a little bit of 4K gaming at 8 gigabytes. It's going to offer you a lot of performance for the money. However, Nvidia isn't like AMD where they're really sweetening the pot with their GPUs, offering Borderlands 3 months of Game Pass. I wish Nvidia would go the extra mile and offer you, a recently released game or something like that. AMD has always been on the money with that. I guess Nvidia just wants to present themselves as the premier platform and they don't want to go that extra mile of offering a free game. I don't know. I think things like that go a long way from a marketing standpoint, and I feel like Nvidia is kind of missing the boat on that. Nonetheless, if you're talking about it from a performance standpoint, the 2070 is pretty good. At a $500 price point, it is a little bit hefty, but you can fit it in to a $1,100, $1,200 build pretty easily. And I do think it's a good option from that standpoint. And lastly, also want to give a shout to the EVGA GeForce RTX 2080 Super. That is a $700 GPU, 8 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory. Once again, if you're looking for that 1440p 4K GPU, considerably better than the 2070 here, it's going to offer you a ton of performance, even on the higher end games if you're playing at 1440p or 4K. It's just a pricier GPU, and if you're spending $700 on a GPU, you're probably of the mindset, hey, I'm getting something really good that can push 1440p or 4K in a lot of instances with the 2080. With the 2080, you will be playing a lot of stuff at 4K, but as is the case, there are always anomalies in PC gaming, games that are just so difficult to run, or maybe just, a messier port or whatever the case may be, that even with a GPU like the 2080 Super, it's going to be difficult to push it at 4K, but the majority of titles, you are going to get a high quality experience. So that's going to conclude this video. Again, I do think there are a lot of great options for GPUs, especially if you are looking to build a lower end machine or you're trying to upgrade with a budget in mind. And even the 5700 are great options right now. Some of the higher end options, obviously, they're going to offer you really good performance with the 2070 and the 2080. I just cringe a little bit when I see that $500 and $700 price point. That's just really expensive. I should note, with the 2080 Super right now, there is a $30 mail-in rebate attached to it, so it does get a little bit cheaper, but overall, just super expensive on that end. Hopefully, we do see some more compelling options on the higher end soon. However, if you're the kind of person that's building a PC with a higher end GPU and that's what you're looking to get, that's what you have your mind set on, you're probably okay with spending a more premium price, and a differential of $50 to $100 isn't really gonna rock your boat too much, so I can understand why they are a little bit more hesitant in dropping the prices or pricing them a little bit more competitively, especially from an Nvidia standpoint where you don't have a ton of competition at this higher end price point, but nonetheless, hopefully that competition arises soon. That's going to conclude this video. Again, links to all of this from Amazon and Newegg will be in the description box below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.